Shalom, friends. I hope this message finds you well, and that as best you can, you are taking care of yourselves and taking care of each other during this difficult time. Passover is going to look really different this year, isn't it? Most of us, I hope, are planning on following the guidance of experts and sheltering in place over Passover, which means that for many of us, we'll be celebrating Seder with just the members of our immediate physical households. Others of us, sadly, may be celebrating Seder alone, and many of us may be leading a Seder for the first time ever. And that's why we wanted to provide you as many resources as we possibly could and as much guidance as we possibly could to ensure that Passover for you this year is as meaningful and as joyous as it possibly can be. You've already seen some of those resources, and we'll, in the coming days and weeks, be sending more, as many as we can, to help you along and hopefully inspire you a little bit for Passover this year. We're also going to be sending out links to virtual Seders all around the country that you may be interested in joining and that you are invited to join. And we also want to encourage you to reach out to us if you are willing to host people virtually at your Seder, or if you are looking for a Seder of congregants to join virtually. Please send me an email, send Cantor an email, send our office an email, and we'll do as much as we can, the best we can, to facilitate connections between members of our congregation to link up virtually for Seder. And finally, Cantor and I are going to be sending video messages each day leading up to Passover with thoughts and guidance and insight for the Seder that you might find meaningful and that you might be interested in incorporating into your thoughts and your planning for your own Seders this year. This is our first video, so it's just really an introductory video to talk about what we're hoping to do over the course of the next couple of weeks, what you can expect to hear from us over the next couple of weeks. But as an introductory video, I wanted to share some introductory thoughts about Seder night for you. Many of you know that I just published a book called 30 Days of Liberation. And if you are so moved, you can order it on Amazon. The proceeds benefit Temple Beth-El. And you'll find a lot in there that might help make your Seder even more meaningful this year and in future years. And I just want to share a couple of thoughts from the book with you over this video in thinking about the Seder from a bird's eye view. And the first thing that comes to mind when we think about the Seder is that the word Seder means order. The Seder follows an order. And each year, I'm struck by the dissonance of celebrating freedom by having a Seder, which is an orderly ritual meal. Shouldn't each of us be free to celebrate our own way? The philosopher Rebecca Goldstein teaches that Judaism rejects the chaos and formlessness of that version of freedom, because it impedes our ability to live meaningfully. Significance, holiness in our lives can only be achieved through structure. We differentiate the extraordinary from the ordinary and holy time from regular time, ascribing a unique character to each moment. This is true of the Seder and also the discipline of everyday Jewish living. One of the aspects of the order of the Seder is that the number 4 repeatedly appears in the course of the Seder. There are 4 questions, 4 cups of wine, 4 sons, and on and on and on. Tradition holds that this number corresponds to the 4 terms for liberation uttered by God in the book of Exodus. I will take you out, I will save you, I will redeem you, and I will take you. Some commentators teach that these are actually 4 distinct stages of liberation, rather than mere synonyms. First, the people had to be physically removed from enslavement. Then they had to be saved from their own learned tolerance for injustice. Next, they had to be redeemed from the ways in which their suffering had twisted their own souls. Only then could they be taken by God. Only then could they be fully committed to their new true master. The same is true of our own personal liberation. We ultimately want to be free of all that holds us back from flourishing, but this requires a few steps. First, we must distance ourselves from whatever is trapping us in our current situation, whether that be our own actions or the influences of others. Then we must address our complacency with the status quo. Next, we must eradicate our own desire, born of comfort or fear, to return to the very contexts that trapped us. Only then can we live truly liberated lives. I hope those thoughts are meaningful to you as you begin to think about planning for your Seder this year, or that you might bring with you two Seders that you're going to join virtually or in person if with members of your physical household. And I encourage you to look forward each day to the messages that Cantor and I are going to be sending out, as well as the resources that we are going to share through the listserv and on our website, bethelrichmond.org, leading up to Passover. As you continue to plan, I hope that you find it a meaningful experience, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Shalom.